Yes, you're watching the sports show, of course, the Simpson Cup. We've been covering it from start to finish. Finished last weekend, and our guru of golf, Gary Thompson, joins us. And, of course, he's got the Glenelg shirt on, mate. Very proud of it. Of course, they've won it again. Well done to your club,
Thank you,
Gary.
very much.
Of course, they beat Grange. Were you surprised with the result? 5.5 matches to 1.5?
Well, it seemed sort of tight while you were there, but we had three guys jumped out of the blocks really early and had 3 up after 6 holes, or I think one was 4 up. So we always had those virtually in the bank. We just had to get one more. So we knew it'd be a tight game against Grange, but it was nice to get over the line and keep our undefeated run going. And 4 seasons in a row undefeated.
Yeah, and full marks to the club too, Dark, really, because you pulled off the women as well.
At the women, yeah.
The Bonner Cup.
Bonner Cup.
Would have been a big night at Glenelg on Sunday night.
My car had a sleepover on Sunday night.
Yeah, is that right?
Yeah. 54 years. 54 years was the last time that Glenelg had it. 1965, they had the men and the women. So
yes.
it's a pretty big accomplishment when you put it in half a century plus before it repeats itself.
It was absolutely magnificent night. Yes. Yeah. So
that's why the club were the car park.
The club were delighted. Yeah.
And of course, you lost my phone number Sunday night. You having a couple of ales and.
Well, I didn't think you'd need to see me. I was probably out of my crease pads.
Oh, really?
Doug, you bought the trophy. It's a magnificent trophy. 1927 was the start of the Simpsons Cup, so it's got a heck of a tradition to it. Although we joke about it here, and there were a few beers after. What does it mean to the Glenelg Golf Club?
Well, it means an awful lot to the guys, and the fact that this year, especially, is the first time, and I say the modern era, and the modern era went back to the early 70s when they brought 8 clubs in. No club's ever won it 4 times in a row. So, there's 2 of our lads have played in all of the 4.
Wow.
So they were delighted with it. But it's also a real payback to our coaching staff they spent an awful lot of time, sort of with the guys. Not just we have, sort of a good lead up February, March, a fair few trials and hit outs, but then they train us every Thursday night through the season, and but outside of that, they spend a lot of time with the guys on the practice fairway. So their investment, we feel like we repay them in some way that we can go on and just keep winning.
And it's the pinnacle. It's the pinnacle of golf. It's if your club wins that. Then your club is the best club. It's as simple as that, because it is
the equivalent to the AFL.
Well, it's the highest thing you can win.
It's the same.
Absolutely.
The greatest honor you can win.
Yeah.
The Sanderson Cup, we haven't talked much about the women. We've talked mainly about the Simpson Cup. So again, Glenelg win the Sanderson Cup.
Yeah, first time Grange women were going for 5 in a row.
Wow.
They've had a domination of it for a long time, and it was a crazy game that. Unfortunately for the Grange girls, she had probably a 3.5 foot putt on the last to win it, and it slipped by the hole, and then they went down 19. It was amazing. I would say there were 150, 200 people followed the 2 girls down the 19th, and our lass Alicia Yap made a fantastic birdie, about a 25-foot putt, to sew it up. So there was a fair bit of elation on the first green for that for the girls.
Now you've got a feel for Grange here. Grange lost the men, lost the women, lost the Bonner Cup, which is the juniors. That was Grange.
And then they lost the Sharp Cup, the juniors as well. It shows how strong they are. They just compete all of the time, and they'll come back. They'll bounce back. But it would have been, the elation at our club. There would have been a lot of disappointment at Grange, and you understand that. They were they're such a strong club. They've got outstanding talent, and it just the penny dropped our way on Sunday.
All right. You're gonna now. That would have. Did you bring a truck to bring the cup in, or did you? It's the biggest cup I've ever seen.
I'm building up my muscles.
Security.
Actually, I didn't realise it was that size when I said I'd bring it in. And then by the time I'd got it into the car, I thought, why did I say I was going to do this? But, for people to see it, I'm glad I have. So fantastic.
A quick one before you leave us. The British Open,
beautiful.
Right, hit me
Best event in the world.
Okay, hit me with a tip.
Well, I'm going to go...
No, don't say Brooks Koepka again.
I am going to go Brooks Koepka, and I'll tell you why. Because his caddy comes from Royal Portrush.
Oh, okay, he does too.
And that makes, you know, that's a bit of local knowledge and a fantastic player. I'm going Koepka.
Hey, before the floor manager hemorrhages winding us up like that, is Tiger Woods a chance? Is he a good chance? Not just a chance, is he a good chance?
Well, he has to be a chance, but I don't think he'll win because I don't think he drives it well enough on that course, for that course. Okay. The rough at the Open is generally fairly high.
That helps you.
And he'll have to... he'd have to change his driving habits for me.
You've got to hit fairways. You have to hit the fairways at British Open, and you also have to be able to shape the ball, particularly at Royal Portrush, both ways.
I think Tiger's won a couple of times when it's been really dry, and they haven't got the wispy rough that and the long rough.
Well, that's why I don't play in it because of the rough. So
I'm going for Koepka.
Good on you, mate.
It's been great catching up. Appreciate your support.
Yeah, well done,
fantastic.
Well done to your club too, to the men and the women and the juniors down there as well. Stay with us. Rugby coming up next.